made Nigeria laugh for 30 years. Then he fell ill, and Nigerians rallied. They prayed for him. They've donated for him. They crowdfunded surgeries, hospital bills, and treatment abroad. He endured 7 operations. He even lost a leg. And then on the 2nd of March 2024, at Healthcare Hospital in Lagos, John Okafor, the man the whole country knew as Mr. Ibu, took his last breath. He was 62 years old. He was buried in his hometown of Amuri, Nkanu in Enugu State on the 28th of June 2024. And then 2 years later, his widow says she cannot pay rent. The electricity has been cut off for 2 months. They are fetching water from a well. His youngest children were sent home from school. His eldest daughter could not register for WAEC. Nigerians donated again, 7.5 million naira in 48 hours. And then one of his sons went public with allegations about properties sold, money unaccounted for, and public donations that he said were mismanaged. A man who gave Nigeria so much laughter. And now, his family, in grief, is giving us the most important lesson he never planned to teach. Mr. Ibu made Nigerians laugh for decades, but now after his death, another story is playing out. Not on a movie set, not as comedy, but inside the painful reality of family, grief, money, children, public donations, property, and legacy. And before we go further, let me say this clearly. This video is not here to judge Mr. Ibu's widow, his children, or any member of the family. The allegations, their responses, there are things the public does not know. So this is not a court, this is not a verdict, but there is a lesson here. And that lesson is too important to leave unspoken. As usual, let me state, I am not a lawyer. I'm not a financial advisor. Neither am I a grief counselor. Everything shared here is based on publicly reported information from credible Nigerian media. The allegations on all sides remain allegations, not confirmed facts. What we are here to discuss is the structure of what went wrong, because that structure is not unique to this family alone. It lives inside millions of Nigerian homes. John Okafor, Mr. Ibu, was born on the 17th of October 1961 in Umuneku, Nkanu, West Local Government Area of Enugu State. He grew up poor. He lost his father early. He moved to Sapele to hustle. He did menial jobs to put himself through school and support his family. He trained as a hairstylist before he ever stood in front of the camera. And from that beginning, he built himself into one of the most recognizable faces in Nollywood history, appearing in over 200 films. In October 2023, he revealed publicly that he was battling a serious illness, complications believed to be linked to diabetes. He filmed himself in a hospital bed, his voice weak, asking Nigerians for prayers and financial help. Nigeria and Nigerians responded the way Nigeria does when it truly loves someone. The Abubakar Bukola Saraki Foundation paid off his entire medical bills by October 18, 2023. Corporate bodies donated. Ordinary Nigerians gave what they could. And in November 2023, his leg was amputated. That decision was taken to give him the best chance of survival. It was not enough. On March 2nd, 2024, he died from cardiac arrest at Evercare Hospital, Lagos. And even before the burial, trouble had begun. His son, Daniel, and his adopted daughter, Jasmine, were arrested in January 2024. Both of them were allegedly accused of hacking into his phone and stealing a significant sum from the public donations meant for his medical treatment. Some of the figures quoted in reported media allegedly estimated the sum stolen to be around $60,700. The dispute over money started while he was still alive. Then, after his burial, according to reports, Stella Maris, his widow, said that family members demanded she share burial money with them. Money, she said, was given to her specifically for her children. Then, in June 2026, 2 years after his death, Stella sat down with content creator King Michi and described conditions that shocked many Nigerians. No electricity for 2 months, children sent home from school, fetching water from a well, the eldest daughter unable to register for WAEC. Within 48 hours, Nigerians donated 7.5 million naira. But then, Somto John Okafor, Mr Ibu's third son, came out publicly with a counter-narrative alleging that properties belonging to his father had been sold without the knowledge of the children. He named figures, he named locations. Then Stella Maris responded saying the sales were done legally with a court order and were carried out jointly with 2 of Mr Ibu's sons. She says she has the documents. And then Rita Edochie, veteran Nollywood actress, weighed in on social media saying that Mr Ibu did not do well and describing the crisis as a painful reminder of what unplanned family structures leave behind. As of today, July 1st, 2026, the dispute is unresolved. So according to report, these are allegations and we are not saying them as proven fact in this video. But the bigger issue is this: how does a family get to the point where children, widows, and relatives are having painful conversation in public spaces after someone dies? Many African families do not like to talk about death. We see writing a will as inviting death. We avoid conversations about property, children, second relationships, older children, younger children, adopted children, customary marriage, statutory marriage, and who has the right to do what. But death does not wait for us to become comfortable. And when a person dies without clear instructions, the people left behind are forced to fight through confusion while they are still grieving. This is where many families break. One person says, I was the wife. Another person says, we are the children. Another says, this property belongs to all of us. And then another says, I paid for the burial. The other person jumps out and says, public donations were meant for treatment. And another person is saying, school fees are unpaid. Other family members can chime in and say nobody carried us along. And before long, the family is no longer mourning together. They are defending themselves in public. This is why estate planning is not only for billionaires. It is not only for politicians. It is not only for old people. Like I stated in my previous video, where we had to talk about a similar situation, the Dr. Tosin Ajayi estate. If you have children, if you have properties, if you have savings, land, business interest, public goodwill, or people who depend on you, you need to put structure in place. A will is not a curse. A will is not you inviting death. It is an act of responsibility. Clear documentation is not lack of faith. It is wisdom. Family meetings are not disrespect. They are protection. Because when there is no clarity, people start interpreting love through money. People start interpreting silence as betrayal. People start interpreting survival as greed. And sometimes even innocent actions begin to look suspicious because there was no transparent process from the beginning. And this is why everybody knows is not enough. When you say everybody knows where I stand, it's not enough. Daddy said it's not enough. My husband wanted. It's not enough. My father promised me. It's not enough. Put it in writing. Register what should be registered. Keep records. Appoint trusted executors. Clarify guardianship for your young children. Clarify business ownership. Clarify who should manage what and who should not touch anything without approval. Because when emotions rise, memory becomes selective. There is another uncomfortable part of this story that we must address honestly. When Nigerians donate, we seek public favor. The public feels emotionally invested. People want to know what happened to the money, and rightfully so. The family may feel attacked. The public may feel deceived. The children may feel excluded. The widow, in this case, may feel abandoned. Everybody may be speaking from pain. This is why public donations need accountability. Not because every family is dishonest, but because transparency protects everybody. If money is raised publicly for treatment, burial, school fees, or family support, there should be clear records. Who received it? What was it used for? What is left? Who had the dependents? What are the priorities? When there is no transparent record, suspicion grows. And suspicion can destroy even what grief did not destroy. Mr. Ibu's situation is not the first of its kind in Nigeria, and I can be bold to say it will not be the last. The Mr. Ibu situation also reminds us of something many Nigerian families struggle with: blended families. A man may have children from different relationships. He may have older children and younger children. He may have a widow. He may have relatives who feel entitled. He may have properties in different states. He may have informal arrangements nobody documented. While he is alive, his presence holds everything together. But then when he's gone, the question becomes, what exactly did he leave? Who is legally entitled? And who has the authority to manage it? The answer to all three of those questions for most Nigerian families is nobody knows for certain. And that uncertainty is not a personal failing. It is a structural gap. A gap that exists because the conversations were never had, the documents were never written, and the instructions were never left. Let me say something that Nigerian society does not say loudly enough. Mr. Ibu gave 30 years to Nollywood. He appeared in over 200 films. He built an industry alongside thousands of other actors, directors, and creators. And yet, 2 years after his death, his family was appealing to the public for school fees. He is not alone. Earlier this year, Abiodun Ayoyinka, the beloved actor behind Papa Ajasko, the Papa Ajasko film, one of Nigeria's most iconic television characters for decades, also made a public appeal for financial support. The pattern is clear, and it is a very painful one. Nigerian entertainers give so much joy. They generate enormous cultural and economic value. They are celebrated, loved, prayed for, and then left with no structural protection. No pension system for Nollywood, no union-backed life insurance, no industry financial literacy framework. Active income only. The moment the road stops, the money stops. Public crowdfunding is not a healthcare system, for God's sake. Viral sympathy is not a pension plan. Emergency donations cannot be an estate. The Actors Guild of Nigeria, Nollywood producers, streaming platforms, and government bodies responsible for the creative economy, they all have a role to play in building structures that protect our storytellers. And we must hold those institutions accountable. And we must also personally learn what this situation is teaching all of us. Okay? Let's also be fair. Widows can suffer badly after a husband dies. Children can also suffer badly after a father dies. Older children can feel abandoned. They are entitled to how they feel. Younger children can become vulnerable. Family members can take sides. In-laws can interfere. The public can mock what it does not understand, especially in a society as ours. So this is not a simple widow versus children story. And to those who have been quick to drag Stella Maris or quick to drag the children, I want to say, you do not have the full picture. None of us do. What we have is a warning to fathers, a warning to mothers, a warning to celebrities, entrepreneurs, pastors, professionals, and anyone that people depend on. Do not leave your family with confusion as their inheritance. Do not leave your family with confusion as their inheritance. I have so many lessons that I personally have gleaned from this situation. For this Mr. Ibu situation, active income is not wealth. Fame is not financial security. If your money stops the day your money stops, your family has no buffer. Please build something that outlives your availability. Number 2, a will is not a curse. Let's have that engrafted in our minds. A will is not a curse. It is an act of love. Write one. Make it legal. Register it. Tell your lawyer, not just your family, where it is. Number 3, in complex family structures, the documentation must be even more deliberate, especially in this case where you have blended families, where you have, multiple wives and multiple children. The more relationships, children, and obligations involved, the more important it is to put in writing who gets what, who manages what, and who has authority over what. Public donations require public accountability. That's the fourth lesson I'm drawing from this case. If money is raised in your name or for your dependents, records must exist. Not because people are dishonest, but because transparency is protection for everyone involved, the giver and the receiver. And number 5, everybody knows it's not a legal instrument. Daddy said it's not a will. My husband wanted is not a trust deed. Put it in writing, then register it. 6, children must be protected from adult conflict. Wherever dispute exists between adults, the children's welfare, emotional and financial, must be separated and shielded from the public dimension of any dispute. And lastly, Nigerian entertainers, athletes, and public figures must begin treating financial and estate planning as professionally as they treat their craft. And the industry must evolve to support this. The goal is not just to die successful. The goal is to leave peace behind. John Okafor, Mr. Ibu, gave Nigeria 30 years of laughter. He laughed through poverty. He laughed through illness. He kept performing even when life was not funny. That is a kind of grace that not everyone has. And Nigeria loved him. Nigerians loved him for it. Genuinely. But love, even 30 years of public love, cannot substitute for a plan. It cannot pay school fees when there is no provision in place. It cannot stop property disputes when there is no will. It cannot protect children from watching their family fight in public. It cannot bring back the dignity that confusion takes away. For families already in situations like this, the answer is not social media war. The answer is proper legal guidance, transparent accounting, mediation where possible, and fierce protection of the children's welfare. Public drama may bring attention. It rarely brings healing. The real question from the Mr. Ibu family situation is not who is telling the truth. The deeper question, the one that should follow each of us home today is, when we are gone, will our families inherit peace or will they inherit confusion? Leave love, yes, but also leave clarity. Leave memories, yes, but also leave documents. Leave property, but also leave instructions. Because the most important thing you can give the people you love is not just what you built, it is the clarity of what belongs to them. That is the lesson beyond the gist. Let me hear from you in the comments. Please respectfully leave your comments because real people and real children are involved in this story. Do you think Nigerian entertainers are supported enough by the industry or even by the system? And what lesson from this situation are you taking into your own life? If this video helps you think differently, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it,